Good evening, family, and all those of you who have gathered for this special program we have tonight. I know that during this pandemic, we've been given a lot of information, and there is uncertainty about what is safe and what is not. And we have a very good surprise tonight, and we're making a special program of about 1 hour because we got acquainted with Hayden, like Hayden Mangle. And his last name is Daughter, so he's not a son, he's a daughter, Hayden Daughter, from Hiro Systems, H-I-R-O. And they deal with non-toxic sanitation systems and solutions for churches, businesses, and individuals. And you know, for us, I feel like as a pastor, I'd like to have the church safe. And we have been following the government guidelines. We tell you, if you don't feel good, do not come to church. Be very considerate and be careful. When you do come, we take your temperature. We have you sign in, and we get your name, and we ask you to wear masks, and we have you marked to sit from each other 6 feet or so, unless you're a family. And I know that some of you have had health problems because of the mask, and you hesitate to come. And so we considered this, and I let our leadership team and our leaders in the church know to consider buying this product because I think it's not that very expensive, and the upkeep is very cheap because you can make it yourself. Okay, so I know that the government is watching the churches, and in California they're shutting churches, and they're even telling them they cannot sing and worship because of the spray. Well, this will help us keep us safe. And then I know that when we invite new people, they're hesitant to come because they know that this is a gathering and they don't know the kind of people that come here. So for the purpose of new people feeling that we have a very safe church, I would like for those of you who are leaders and members of our church to consider donating so that we can have this system. But we'd like to share it with others. I've called restaurant owners and others to come because this team is here only for 2 days, and I was privileged to get a call from Honolulu that they were going to be here. So listen carefully because it also gives some items that you can buy and carry in your own purse or on yourself. So it's not only for the church organization, but to keep the area and atmosphere around you safe wherever you go. So that's all I know about it. And I'm going to give it over to somebody who is an expert. So I just want to say that they got this idea using it from the NASA program where, you know, they had to sanitize the shuttles and the, whatever you call it, they go up in space, and they have to keep the atmosphere clean. Well, they're using the same thing to keep your home and our church clean and safe. So listen carefully. And if you have any questions, you can text it to my number, 276-1005, or you can call in later. But God bless you, and take it away, Hayden Mangle. I mean, not Hayden Mangle, but Hayden Daughter. God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you, Pastor. And thank you so much for inviting us today. It's an honor to be here tonight with all of you, and just to share with you a little bit about Hiro, our systems and our solutions. It's funny how God works. I had no idea I was going to be here tonight, but you know, I believe that you have to be ready when God asks you to show up. And we flew in here today to Maui and had an opportunity to meet Pastor and share a little bit about our innovations, the technology that we discovered, the solutions that really we felt as owners of this company could really help our community and help the world. And so we just came here to Maui today to just introduce to the island these great systems and solutions, which we know right now in Oahu on Big Island are helping so many people. And it was just really an honor and a privilege to get a chance to meet Pastor and to be here tonight to share with you a little bit about our systems and our solutions. Really quickly, I just want to tell you about who Hiro is. We are a Hawaii-based company. Myself, I'm not a chemist, I'm not a sanitization expert. I'm actually just an entrepreneur. Have been in business since I was 18 years old, and have started various different companies. My two partners are also entrepreneurs, local born. And when this pandemic started, we were very concerned about the economy. We were very concerned about the shutdowns of all the businesses that we saw. We were very concerned about the interruption to life as we knew it. And from all of the research that we understood when we were looking at the pandemic and we were looking at this virus and thinking about what is the future that we're looking at, we knew that this was not going to be something that was going to be shut down by just some shutdowns. This was not going to be something that was gone overnight. We knew it was going to be a big worldwide problem. We knew it was going to be a new worldwide problem that was going to need some new innovative solutions to be able to deal with that problem. And that's what really kind of was the beginning or the genesis of Hiro. We didn't set out to be a sanitization company. We just wanted to find solutions to help us all get back to life and to help us all restore peace of mind, of course, here in Hawaii and around the country and eventually around the world. In that journey, when we were looking at all of the different businesses that were out there that were using different types of sanitization systems and solutions in their businesses, we were really concerned because what we were seeing was everybody was using very toxic chemicals. They were using like a bleach or a quad ammonium-based product. Most of us actually use bleach. I mean, how many people do you know use Clorox wipes? And we were looking at these solutions and the research behind them, and we knew that those were going to be really harmful for people long term. Matter of fact, the American Lung Association says that breathing bleach, or the American Lung Foundation actually, breathing bleach once a day is as harmful to your lungs as smoking a pack of cigarettes every day. And we're thinking about it, nowadays everybody is using bleach. They're using Clorox wipes and they're doing it all the time using these wipes. Quat ammonium-based products. Now most of you, if you look in your cleaning cabinet and you pulled out a disinfecting product, you'd probably see a quat ammonium-based product. And the research on that is really scary because we saw a research report from the European Lung Foundation that said that nurses who disinfect with quats just once a week experience a 32% increased risk of developing COPD, which is directly linked to lung cancer. So, you know, we were looking at it and thinking, here we are, we've got a virus that is attacking people's lungs, and at the same time we're using chemicals that destroy people's lungs, right? That just didn't make sense. It seemed like a really bad idea. And so we really believed there had to be a better alternative in the market, that there was something better that we could find. And so we looked all around the world, just at all of the different types of solutions that were used throughout time, and we were able to identify two amazing solutions that were just mind-blowing when we discovered them, that they were safe, that they were non-hazardous, they were eco-friendly solutions, safe to breathe, safe for us, but yet harmful for microorganisms, right? Deadly to viruses, bacteria, mold, and fungus. And we saw these solutions and we were just like, wow, this could be something great that we can introduce to the world. So with that being said, we want to queue up a quick video to be able to introduce you to our two-part solution, HOCl and TEG, and then of course the systems that we developed to help us bring these solutions into our everyday lives to protect individuals, churches, businesses alike. So let's go ahead and cue that video up right now. Maybe we can try it again. Okay.
Still experience symptoms up to a year after contracting the disease.
The Lunar New Year is supposed to be marked with celebration.
Concern is growing over an outbreak of new SARS-like virus.
97 people confirmed today, just one
The problem is not the virus. The problem is our response. We are not united in our stance against the virus. Instead of containing and fixing the situation, we've only exacerbated the challenges we face. With compounding opportunities to mutate, the SARS-CoV-2 virion is now evolving at a rapid and unexpected pace. Out of thousands of newly identified mutant strains, several yield a higher infection rate, which increases your risk of fatality. COVID affects us all, whether we want to realize it or not.
Newer variants have reinfected large portions of populations thought to have reached herd immunity, like the Brazilian city Manaus, with ICU beds filled with healthy, young individuals who were thought to be at low risk. Our hopes for a vaccine as an end-all solution have faded with the mutations that have emerged. With each variant, our antibodies become less effective, even to the point where certain PCR tests may not detect the virus. Most experts have already concluded that we may have to live with COVID as an endemic virus for the rest of our lives. Not to mention, there have been verified reports that up to 76% of COVID survivors still experience ongoing symptoms up to a year after contracting the disease. The National Institutes of Health has recently named this condition post-acute sequelae SARS-CoV-2 infection, or PASC.
While humanity comes face to face with our mortality, we must unite and look toward the future, quality of life that lies ahead.
So how do we fight back against this virus? Have you heard of quats or peroxide foggers? These toxic chemicals are used in over 95% of the disinfecting products available today. These applications require many hours of clearing due to the release of dangerous fumes and residues that can cause chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and be as damaging to your lungs as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day.
What we need is a plant-safe, pet-safe, and solution that can be used frequently, consistently, and conveniently. Introducing nano-atmospheric sanitization, or NOx as we call it. So what is nano-atmospheric sanitization? At Hiro, we have developed systems that utilize our non-toxic, two-part, broad-spectrum sanitization solutions. Our solutions harness the magic of hypochlorous acid and the power of triethylene glycol through atomization and vaporization. With these technological advancements in science, you can effectively mitigate pathogens both in the air and on surfaces, providing you with complete space sanitization. Rest assured, as these solutions have been tested and listed by many of the most credible government-approved organizations, such as the CDC, FAA, AJPH, NIH, USDA, FDA, and EPA.
Did you know HOCl is up to 80 times more effective than bleach and is even listed on the EPA N list as an approved disinfectant against the SARS-CoV-2 virus? Even better, HOCl is naturally produced in the human body by our immune system. It was first discovered during World War I and is commonly used by dentists, eye doctors, and medical facilities around the world.
By studying this internal defense system, we have been able to develop revolutionary systems that unite us in our stance against the virus. Introducing part 1 of the Hiro NOS solution. Here at Hiro, we have harnessed the power of HOCl through the technology of atomization. Our systems target microorganisms by delivering NOS into every aspect of your daily life. Imagine being able to visit movie theaters, gyms, homes, concerts, conventions, bars, nightclubs, restaurants, airplanes, hotels, and all of your favorite places. The possibility of returning to life with peace of mind has never been closer. Now let's talk about the second part of the Hiro NOS solution.
First registered for use as air disinfectant in hospitals in 1947, triethylene glycol has been verified to remediate viruses, bacteria, mold, and fungi.
At Hiro, we have harnessed the power of TEG through vaporization technology. The Hiro Notch Detect Dry Cloud can provide complete space sanitization in a matter of minutes. The My Hiro is your perfect ever-present weapon against the invisible virus. Get ready to experience the NOx.
Here we go!
All of the Hiro systems follow our Easy 5 methodology, which means they are easy, effective, and empower everyone through education. To protect themselves from the virus through nano-atmospheric sanitization, our mission at Hiro is to restore peace of mind and help families, communities, and local businesses reopen and live responsibly. The time has come for us to unite in our stand against the virus. Rise up, join the fight, be a hero.
All right, so there you have just a quick introduction to our systems, our solutions. Hopefully that gave you some really good information about what we're doing. But as you see, we did a quick application here in the church, so hopefully you can see what's going on here. This is our My Hiro system. It is our total space solution. And what's really powerful about this solution that you're seeing is it actually provides instant aerial disinfection. It sanitizes all surfaces in 15 minutes and disinfects surfaces in 30 minutes to an hour. So when we discovered this technology, we were really excited about the potential application for it. Right? So one of the things, that's our TEG with our My Hiro system. And like I said, instant aerial disinfection sanitizes all surfaces. But this is our total space solution. So it is an all or nothing application, right? So obviously, for you to be able to bring that around with you to the restaurant or something, it may be a little bit bigger than what you would want to do. So perfect, though, for churches. What many of our churches do, many of our organizations do is imagine gathering together in a gathering like this. What we do is a light application like you see, and what that does is that provides some aerial mitigation. We don't want to do it really, really heavy. But in the air, TEG is very effective in the air. We actually discovered this technology from the airline industry. Actually, the FAA, back in 2009, after the first original SARS epidemic, I don't know if you remember that first epidemic that happened, it was back in 2009, but the airline industry was very concerned about the possibilities for a pandemic, and that a pandemic would occur from a respiratory virus, and that in airplanes, that would become a major vector for spread. And so they went out and did a bunch of research. They were looking at all the different types of solutions in the market, and the most commonly used solution that you would see is something called hydrogen peroxide. Some of you probably have heard of maybe commercial disinfection services using hydrogen peroxide foggers. Now, hydrogen peroxide works. It's very effective. The challenge with hydrogen peroxide, however, is that I could not do what I just did here. I could not deploy hydrogen peroxide in the air because we could not breathe it. If you're doing a hydrogen peroxide treatment, it would essentially, you'd need a full hazmat suit on. You would need to cover all of the areas in the room so that it can't seep out. And after you did an application, you would have to wait a couple of hours before you could re-enter a space. So obviously, that is not a solution that could be used frequently, consistently, and conveniently. It's something that you have to hire a commercial expert to be able to do. And that was not going to work for the airline industry because if we think about it, when a plane lands, they only have about 10 or 15 minutes in between flights to be able to disinfect the space. So they were looking for something that was safe, right? Safe to breathe. That was food safe, obviously, because they weren't able to cover everything up. So it needed to be cleared as food safe. And then also it needed to be electronic safe. It needed to be something that was dry. And all their research led them to TEG, or triethylene glycol. Matter of fact, this research is posted on our website. If you want to see this research, it's from the FAA. You can go to herosystemshawaii.com and click on the science section and research, and you can see this research report done by the FAA. So when they did the research, they found that TEG was very effective against neutralizing viruses, bacteria, mold, and fungus. So it actually has broader application, not just viruses, but think about in Hawaii, we have a mold issue here. So it's very effective in that because it is very hygroscopic, which is the term. It dries up everything. It dries up the outside of a virus and inactivates it. It dries up mold. So very effective, but very safe. So that was the perfect solution that they concluded, and now we see it. Actually, many of you have probably seen it on an airline. You've been flying, and have you ever seen that little mist, that little vapor that comes out of the air vents? That is actually TEG. That is something that they have in a light concentration in the air, just like we have it in a light concentration in the air here, and it provides aerial mitigation. And we saw this technology and we thought, this is super great. They have it in airplanes. Why don't we take what they are building into these airplanes and let's put it into a unit, a very small unit. Obviously it's big to us here, but let's put it in a unit that we can put in every business, every restaurant, every church, every home. And that is the result of the My Hiro. That's what we've been able to create here. And one of the exciting things about this is we've been able to make it affordable too. Typically, if you were going to buy commercial sanitizing systems, you would spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, even $30,000 for a system like that. We actually are able to get this down to less than $3,000 for only $29.95. So we've been able to make it affordable for the average business out there. The next thing that's really important is we've actually been able to make the solution very inexpensive, very, very affordable. To give you an example on that, typically before, if you were going to hire let's say you want to hire a commercial disinfection company to come and sanitize this space. I'm trying to think about how much cubic space this would be, but it would be pretty big. Normally they charge 10 to 20 cents a cubic foot. And let's say this is 100,000 cubic feet in this space. 10,000 at 100,000 cubic feet, 100,000 cubic feet at 10 cents would be, what, $10,000? So to do a disinfection, you'd have to pay $10,000 to a company to come and neutralize and disinfect the space. Well, if you do the math here, with our TEG solution actually, the cost is 0.0007 cents per cubic foot. So if you did the math on that, at 100,000 cubic feet times 0.00007 cents per cubic foot, it costs you $7. So we saw that and we're like, wow, something that people are charging thousands of dollars for can cost only $7. So really a powerful solution. We can actually use it to be able to disinfect this entire space. If I was going to disinfect, I would do it heavier, I would run it for longer, and there would be a really deep, rich cloud. What we do in our store, we have a retail store in Ala Moana. What we do is very simple. We just turn it on at the end of the evening. We run it for about 4 minutes, and it completely fills the space, saturates the space, and then we walk out. We have tested it over an hour later, and it's killed 99.97% of microorganisms that were there. So really powerful, easy to do, practical solution that anybody can use. And just think about that. Instead of having to spend money, all this money on commercial disinfection services, you can have a unit yourself. Any of your staff can do it. The only thing that they need to do is press a button, fill it up, walk out, and it's done. Very simple solution. So that's the first, that's the My Hiro. We named the company after this system because the technology was so amazing. But we were also looking for something that was perfect for the individual consumer. Like, what about us? You know, every day when we go around, when we travel, when we hop on an airplane, when we go to the restaurant, when we interact in public on a daily basis, we needed a solution that was good for us. Now, this obviously is not convenient for us, right? Isn't convenient for us to walk around with, and it's a total space solution. It's not directional. So our second solution, which you heard about on the video, is something called HOCL. And let me explain to you what HOCL is. HOCL actually stands for hypochlorous acid. Now, I know you might be listening to that and going, well, that doesn't sound very safe, right? Hypochlorous acid. Actually, though, hypochlorous acid is actually, it's a very weak acid, and it is something that our body naturally produces. So it was really cool when we were doing the research and we discovered that our immune system, the human immune system, actually has a defense system inside of us to defend us against invaders. When we get a virus inside of us, we have something in our immune system called a lymphocyte, which essentially will eat that virus and kill it with hypochlorous acid. When we cut ourselves, our white blood cells release hypochlorous acid to be able to disinfect the wound. and also to heal the skin. So one of the interesting things about hypochlorous acid is it's actually not only a disinfectant, a powerful disinfectant, but it's also good for your skin. It is part of your skin's wound care system. So really cool, safe for us, but yet tested to be up to 80 times more effective than bleach at killing all the microorganisms, right? Virus, bacteria, mold, and fungus. Fungus is one of the hardest. So when we did this research, we were very excited about what we saw. We did not invent hypochlorous acid. Matter of fact, this is something that was used, like the video said, since World War I as a wound care disinfectant. It's something that eye doctors use as an eye disinfectant. Dentists use it as for oral surgery. You can use it as a mouthwash. So completely safe and neutral for us, but yet very harmful for microorganisms. So what I'm going to show you here is, here's even one of the cooler parts about HOCl, is that you can make it with 3 homemade ingredients that we all have in our house. Okay, you make HOCl with water, salt, and vinegar. And then you do one last step, which is what our sidekick generator does. That's the magic that actually makes it the HOCl. So what you'll see here is I have a little bit of water here, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt, and I'm also going to add a little bit of white distilled vinegar here. And then once I've done that, of course I'm eyeing it out, but we have a formula that we give you when you get one of the generators. And here I'm going to dissolve the water, the salt, the vinegar. And once I've done that, dissolve the... Now, water, salt, and vinegar by itself is not HOCl. Just to be clear, you can't go to your house right now and make water, salt, and vinegar and mix it up and have HOCl. There's one final step that you want to have before it becomes HOCl, and that's what the generator's for. What the generator does is it actually... it mimics what our body does naturally. Our body has sort of water, salt, acid inside of it, but we also have an electric current that's running through our entire body. So what our generator does is, through a process of electrolysis, we're able to create hypochlorous acid. Taking water, salt, a little bit of vinegar, which is an acid base, and I turn it on, and you will see, if you can see, maybe you can't see, but if you can see, it's kind of bubbling, it's reacting. What's happening is a chemical reaction is happening, and you're creating HOCl. So in a matter of 5 minutes, you're going to have a powerful, super powerful sanitizing agent that's completely safe, natural, and non-toxic for us. So it's a great solution. You could have it in your kitchen. I now use this instead of using bleach or any of these toxic chemicals. I use HOCl. I make it myself in my house. I clean my kitchen with it. I clean my bathroom. You can make a low strength. You can make a medium strength. You can even make a medical grade strength, a very high strength HOCl. And how you do that is you just charge it a little more and you give it a little bit more salt and vinegar. So we have formulas for even a medical grade disinfectant. Just to be clear too, just so everybody knows, just to be clear, HOCl actually is something that you can be able to use in a lot of different applications. The medical grade disinfectant is something that you don't want to use kind of on every day. This is what hospitals use when they're dealing with more aggressive microorganisms. So we'll go ahead and move off of that. That's our HOCl solution, and it's making right there. Now, Hiro didn't want to stop at the solution. You know, we didn't want to just give you a bottle of solution and say, here you go, here's your solution. But what we did, I believe that's so innovative, is because HOCl is very safe, because it's something that it's safe for us, we felt we could create systems to help us bring this solution into our everyday life. So really quickly, just to kind of wrap up today, can you help with that? It's an alarm. It's an alarm, yeah. We have an alarm back here going off. I think the alarm's saying I'm talking too much, so I'll hurry up a little bit here. So we created systems to be able to empower you to be able to bring HOCl with you into your everyday life. So I'm just going to show you a few of those systems before I wrap up today. The first one is called our Little Kick, right? So here, as you can see, and I wish you could feel it and experience it, this is, so I'm going to sanitize this mic real quick. So this here is our Little Kick atomizer. I love this, fits in my pocket. take it with me everywhere. Went on the plane today, and guess when I sat down at the plane, I was like, yep, I'm do my little space, do my little area. Think about all the things that we touch on a regular basis, on a daily basis. You know, doorknobs, credit card terminals, gas stations, all of the places that we touch on a regular basis. So to have something this, your powerful little ally to take with you and bring HOCL with you everywhere. And instead of using that nasty hand sanitizer that we're also kind of tired of at this point in time, that dries out our hands from using it, you can use HOCL, which is actually really good for your skin, with our little kick. So that's a really popular one. I feel like men really love this one because it fits in the pocket. Our ladies really love our kickstand system here. You can see this. It's a little bit bigger. This one's pink, right? Pretty cool color. And, oh, yep. Let me tell you how much it is. So this system here, our little kick, is $69, right? $69 for our little kick system. Our kickstand here, which is also an atomizer, but this one has a bigger reservoir, so it actually, the solution will last in here for about 25 minutes. So you get quite a bit of solution. It is travel safe, so it actually is less than 3.4 ounces, so you can bring it onto the plane with you. So you can bring this around with you everywhere, and then what's great about it is it also has a charger. So we got a charger in here for your cell phone as well. So perfect travel item. And you know, if you think about this and when you look at that, one of the things that we want to do at Hiro, because we knew that now, because of coronavirus, we were all going to have to sanitize with more frequency and kind of make it as a part of our everyday life. So we wanted to make it so that sanitizing was something that was easy to do, actually even fun to do, something that you enjoy, and something that was stylish, something that was classy. And so our systems, really, if you look at them, they're all very fashionable, essentially. So we're making sanitization fashionable, actually, which is, I think, a different way to look at it, and really a fun way to be able to bring HOCL with you everywhere. Now, if you're looking for something with a little bit more power, we got our Kickshot Atomizer here. And as you can see, if you can hear it in action here, our Kickshot Atomizer is atomizing this solution. It's kind of disappearing in the air. I know you've heard me say this term atomization many times. It's one of the things that we've been able to build into our systems, right? What is atomization? Through using a sonic frequency, we're able to shrink down HOCL into the smallest possible particles so that we can more effectively target microorganisms. So the competitive product, before you saw something like this, and maybe you've experienced this before, we saw many different businesses were using these backpack products. They were using these electrostatic sprayers, and these electrostatic sprayers cost like around $5,000 or so. And when they use them, they spray things down and they drench. It drenches everything. It drenches the table. So if you wanted to use an electrostatic sprayer in here, if you sprayed down the pews, it would make everything wet. It would make all the pews wet. Now, while that may work in disinfecting, the problem is it's an impractical solution for every day. Because let's say in between services you wanted to sanitize. Well, you can't do that with an electrostatic sprayer because you're going to make everything wet. But with our atomizer, what's so great about this, because it shrinks it down so small, you don't need to soak everything. I wish you could feel and experience this, because when you experience this, you'll find out it's really small, tiny particles, and it's just a fine atomized mist. So it really quickly, easily, effectively, it allows you to sanitize any surface, directional surface, without soaking anything. So, and to do it really affordably. Instead of $5,000, you're talking about $245. So something that anybody can do, any business can do. Right now we have many restaurants that use our systems. They spray down in between every time a table gets up. They can really quickly and easily sanitize the space. Think about salon owners. Think about spas, think about hairstylists, you name it. The types of businesses that could use this are incredible, but even yourself, personal. Imagine when you travel and you go to a new hotel room, right? You don't know if they sanitize the space. Well, you can take your Kickshot Atomizer and just, you can get it. You can get them real quick, you know? So really empowering the everyday individual, consumer, or small business owner with practical solutions with our Kickshot Atomizer. Now I'm going to show you one of my favorites here, which I had it on earlier. You might have seen it running in the background. This is our Hypo Kick. And our Hypo Kick, as you can see, is utilizing HOCL, but to create a cool cloud. This is our NAS, nano-atmospheric sanitization, cool cloud technology. We jokingly like to call this one our COVID bouncer because this one, typically you will see it in many of the businesses and churches in operation that are using our systems. They're using this in the very front door, so it's in the front door, and so when somebody walks in, they're greeted with a nice little HOCl cloud. Now we also have this in a motion sensor, so basically it would turn on immediately when you walk in front of the system and turn off when you walk away. So a very convenient way, but this here gives someone the ability to be able to sanitize all of their personal objects, their cell phone. Think about that. Even take a little HOCl shower. So you can take a little HOCl shower in our HypoKick unit. So this is great for doorways and entryways. Also think of it for public vents, public venues. So when we have weddings or other kinds of different public venues, to be able to have these systems throughout the area provides an element of sanitization, an element of peace of mind, and also, as you can see, we're actually filling the airspace with HOCl. We know one of the biggest problems with the SARS-CoV-2 virus is that it's aerially transmitted. So we want to have something active in the air that's providing a layer of defense for us. And that's what's really great about our HypoKick unit. Our HypoKick unit here is only $9.95. And this unit actually holds 13 liters, so it can run for about 12 hours straight, actually. But with our motion sensor, it's much more effective that it goes through the solution. So that's our HypoKick. The last one I want to show you here before I wrap up, I don't want to take too much time of your evening, but I'm going to show you our HypoKick Home. And you can see the HypoKick Home. So this is a home unit. It's very stylish. And as you can see, it could fit in well with your furniture. And here it is, HOCl, right there. So imagine that in your living room or in your dining area, just kind of in the background, providing nano-atmospheric sanitization with HOCl. So this unit retails for $5.95. So those are our different systems, and then of course our generator. You can see our HOCl is done. The generator, which powers or creates the solution, is only $3.95, and this will produce up to 11,000 gallons in its lifetime. Actually, you can produce up to 5 gallons at one time with this system. So these are the various different products that of our sanitization systems and solutions that we're introducing to the market. And you know, the one thing that I want to share with you is that we are at the very beginning. Hiro's very passionate about sharing with the community practical solutions. And when we say practical solutions, you know, we recognize that we're going to be in this battle for a little bit of time. For the foreseeable future, we're going to be dealing with viruses. We are going to be dealing with variants that are changing and that are coming back around. So we really need to start thinking about what are practical ways that we can empower ourselves, so that we can empower our community, so that we can protect our community, protect our family, and really protect our country. So it's something really, really passionate for us that we want to bring to the market. These systems are just the beginning. They're just the beginning of the technologies that we want to introduce to the market. A lot of people ask me when I talk to them, they ask me, is Hiro a sanitization company? And you know, well, obviously we have sanitization systems and solutions. Really, what are we? We are concerned citizens of the world that are looking at this problem that we're seeing and are trying to find innovative solutions that we can help protect our families and our communities. That's really what we're looking to do. Now, of course, sanitization made sense. We're like, okay, we've got to have safe spaces where we all can be and where we could all, we can congregate, because we know we're going to be dealing with this virus. So smart, practical strategies and solutions to keep each other safe is really, really important. But this is really the beginning of Hiro. We are also actually just introducing a brand new product which we're super excited about to be able to help empower our community. And these are rapid tests, right? Rapid at-home test, saliva-based test. Imagine being able to yourself, you know, let's say you got the sniffles, or let's say you ran into or you came into contact with somebody who had coronavirus. Well, you want to know, are you infected? Were you somebody that actually, you know, do you have it because you don't want to spread it? Well, wouldn't it be important for us to be able to quickly take a test? And wouldn't we want to not actually go out there and stick a needle up our nose. You know, of course, if we have to do it, we have to do it. But the test that we're introducing is a revolutionary new technology, and it is a saliva base. I mean, gargle, saliva, spit, and test, and within a few minutes be able to know whether you have the antigens that are saying that you have the protein that results from being infected with the virus. So practical solution, right? Now, not a guaranteed thing. Obviously, PCR is the highest, the best, but 90% in our test sensitivity, 90 to 95%, but affordable and something that you could do yourself. So we now have those available. These retail at $49, but you can actually buy them in bulk and get them down to $29. So maybe if you want to have practical, rapid tests that you can provide to your customers, if you're a business, or your coworkers, or just your family, just to have them at home. Now you can find all of these systems on our website at hirosystemshawaii.com. You spell that H-I-R-O, like Hiro, H-I-R-O, systemshawaii.com. So all of our systems are on our website there. You can check them out. And we also have package deals. So one of the things that we wanted to do is we really believe in our two-part system, which is not just the total space solution, but also the HOCL solution as well. So we created, let's say you're on here today, you're a business or an individual, and you're like, I want them all, I love them all. Our Hiro system retails at $29.95, but what we have done for the community is that when you purchase the Hiro system, we are actually going to throw in the HypoKick and the generator, the little kick, the kickstand, and the kick shot, complimentary with that on top of it. So it's over a $5,300 value for only $29.95. So a really great value in that system. Let's say you didn't want the Hiro. Maybe this is a little too much for you, and that's understandable. Some people are not ready for that. You can get the HypoKick, the generator, the little kick, the kickstand, and the kick shot. All of these systems, which normally would retail at about $2,100, for only $1,500, I think $1,495. So those are just some of the special offers. And if you want, we have another simple set that's together where you can get the generator, the kick shot, the kickstand, and the little kick. So all four of those, which is normally around $800 total, we're offering for only $555. So a really great starter set, you know, and a great personal set where you can have for your home and have some on-the-go units, your kick shot atomizer. So really great set. So those are some of the offers that we have available. Check us out. You can check us out on our Facebook page at Hiro Systems Hawaii. You can also check us out on our Instagram at Hiro Systems Hawaii. Message us if you have any questions. We'd love to help you. And we also want to take any questions. I know that we've had some questions that have come up during this conversation, so I definitely want to take a moment and answer any questions that we have before we wrap up here. So we're going to ask Cherie to join us here, and Cherie is going to bring up some questions for me.
Hi, Hayden. We have a question from the audience, and Mary is asking, is it safe for my pet's skin after walking my dog outside? Can I spray him?
That's a really great question. Thank you. Who was the Mary? Thank you, Mary, for that question. And it's a really great question. Actually, a really common problem with puppies is parvo. And we have actually found that treating a puppy with HOCL on a regular basis actually helps to mitigate their exposure to parvo. So there's some great studies on that. So that is that's a long way of me answering yes, it is safe for pets. It's actually safe for all mammals because HOCL is something that is in every single one of our immune systems, including dogs. So super safe for pets. After your dog is sniffing around where they're sniffing, you definitely want to spray them down before they come into the house. So that's a really good plan. Any other questions? You could stay up there with more questions. Do we have more questions?
Well, how long is that special going for?
So right now it is an indefinite time, but we could pull it down at any time. I will make sure that it is at least, what is today? At least on through the following Sunday. I'll make sure that we don't remove that. Sometimes supply and demand, we have actually been selling out as quickly as possible. So if you're interested in these systems, right now, obviously many people are looking for these solutions. So I would definitely get an order in as soon as possible because we have new inventory that's arriving this week and we sell out very quick. But I'll definitely keep that special available till next Sunday. Awesome. Well, yeah, best way to order is through our website, but if you want help on the phone, you can also call us at 808-359-2298. Once again, that's 808-359-2298. And you can press 1 for sales, and you'll speak to our customer service team, and they'll be able to answer. If you have additional questions, maybe we didn't answer your questions today, they'll be able to answer all of those questions as well and be able to help you with your order. I see another question up here.
Do you guys finance it?
That's a great question. Do we finance it? And we are working on it. We don't have it yet. Obviously, it is something that we would like to provide, and we hope to provide very soon. Not at the current moment, though. So here comes Cherie with one more question.
It's actually a comment for those that are interested in ordering. They can also text Carol at 808-856-1524.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, wonderful. So thank you very much. Thanks for spending the evening with us and with me, and hopefully it's been informative. If anything, even if you don't purchase a Hiro system, we hope this information was helpful to you. And thank you, Pastor, for inviting us tonight. And anything we can do to help you and your community, we'd love to do it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hayden. I hope I don't call you something else like my favorite mango. Anyway, it was such a privilege to meet this team. They're young people. And they're so excited to help our community, and they're investing their lives in something very important. And I just want to say to our church members, Carol's number was given, but any of our Facebook friends and family would like to instead ask Carol questions. She will direct you and help you to get these products, and the specials are on at least for another week. So prayerfully consider this. We are asking our church members if they would like for our church to get it, then to make donations that are designated for this. And before we close, I'd like to have a word of prayer. We've had some friends who've been afflicted by the COVID, and I just want to give a testimonial, and this is not something like medical advice from me, but I'm going to tell you what happened. But we know that one of our teachers in our Bible school, he and his wife had the COVID, and unfortunately last week she passed away. And so it's hit close to home. And some of you I know have lost your loved ones. Well, about a week ago we had a healing service, and a lady who had been in ICU for about 9 days and had survived the COVID, she had this oxygen tank with her and came to service. And they said that she'd have to be on it indefinitely because the respiratory system had been damaged. But some of you know Joe Akana, my friend who came. He's a military man. He's a politician who ran for office. But before COVID came on, he had a weak respiratory system, so he could not take the vaccination. And so before the COVID came, he had done some research for himself, and he had found out that a treatment that was given to malaria patients worked on him and kept his respiratory system safe and strong. And then he told me this. He said, you know, the government is not encouraging the treatment by hydroxychloroquine. And he says, but he has done this, and the doctor who recommended it to President Trump and got him well in a few days has used this before the controversy of the medicine was on, and all of his patients survived. And he said Joe learned that you can get about a dozen grapefruit and peel the grapefruit, put it in a big pot, the skin, and put about 2 inches of water in it, and then put it on very low heat for about 3 hours. And so when Melanie came and she got prayed over, I thought of doing this for her. So I did this for her, and you're supposed to take 2 tablespoons of it with zinc. And the very next day, she got off of oxygen. Every once in a while, she still needs a little bit, but she's getting better and better just by 1 day of taking that. And if you use 12 grapefruits, it made about 2 water bottles, you know, the kind that we drink, the regular size water bottle, about 2.5 of that. And so you take 2 tablespoons and a tablet of zinc every day. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying that I saw it work for somebody, and if it can help you, and it certainly cannot hurt, because she said when she got it, one of her friends gave her a citric ointment to rub. And so she said, when I said, you know, grapefruit, she said, it could be that the citric acid or whatever is what's going to help. But she's been helped, and it cannot hurt you. So if you have somebody who's been affected by it, try it, because in 3-4 days they can be completely healed, as the doctor said. By the way, he's been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize this year. But there's been a lot of political things trying to control everything, so just be prayerful. As I said, everybody seek God's will, whether you're to wear a mask or not wear a mask, or take the vaccination or not. Let it be a personal decision. Let's not fight and argue over it, because we want the peace in our congregation, in our family, in our community. So let's bow our heads and thank the Lord for this team that is doing their best, kind of like a ministry, isn't it? Because you love the Lord and you wanted to do something to help. So in a sense, it's a healing ministry. It's a preventative healing ministry. Father, we thank you for this evening and for this happy surprise. And we do thank you for these young people who are so excited about helping others. And so we pray your blessings on their company. We ask your protection. We ask more creative ideas. Let them stay ahead of what needs to be done so that they can provide it for us. And we thank you, Lord, for your grace upon our lives and for touching us, and for those who are sick right now with whatever virus or whatever sickness. You are our healing God. You were wounded, Jesus, for our transgressions. You were bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon you, and by your stripes we are healed. We declare it. We believe it. It was paid for at Calvary, and so it is ours. And by faith we trust you for daily health. From the crown of our heads to the soles of our feet, we declare ourselves healed in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you for staying on with us tonight, and may you be blessed by this program and pray about what you should do about it. We love you. Good night. Bye.